Hi, this is Alan Brockstein from 420 Investor. I want to take just a few minutes to talk about one of my favorite companies in the cannabis space, SRNA. Depending on what time frame you're looking at, it's been a great stock. This is the last month. You can see it's gone from about 5 cents to as high as 15 cents, so a triple over the last month, or an absolutely horrible stock. This is over the last year. Stock traded above $2. If you go back a little bit further, it traded, I think, as high as $8, if you can believe, maybe even slightly higher. Uh, I think this is going to be a very big week for SRNA in terms of volatility, but more importantly in terms of news. So I wanted to take some time and talk about what's been going on and what I think the big issues affecting SRNA are. As far as full disclosure, I don't have a personal position in SRNA. I don't have a position in any cannabis stocks because I try to be as objective and transparent as I can. Uh, but I do include this in my model portfolio, the 420 Opportunity. This is one of two model portfolios. The goal of this model portfolio is it's fully invested. Uh, there are limits on how much cash it can have, so it's a long only, fully invested model portfolio designed to beat the Benzinga 420 Marijuana Index. This model was launched in April of 2014. Obviously, the market has crashed since then. Uh, I'm not happy that the model portfolio has declined in value, but it's fallen a lot less than the overall market. In fact, so far this year, I measure the market being down about 60%, and the model portfolio is down less than 30%. So less than half of the overall move for the market. SRNA has rallied, as I said, very sharply, but it's been a pretty tough stock. Let's start off just looking at the year to date. And I also want to disclose that in my model portfolio, I did reduce the position from about 15% to about 10% on Thursday at, I believe it was 14.1 cents. I had increased the position at 9 cents in late April. Turned out to be, well, it depends on how you look at it. I sold GW Pharma at about 120 to do that. So over that same time frame, GW fell, this went up. That's the way it's supposed to work. It doesn't always work out that way. So SRNA has seen a lot of buying and recently. You can see how the volumes really picked up recently during this rally. And I think there are four issues. I don't believe they'll all be resolved this week, but I think there's some optimism that they will be resolved. SRNA is one of the few companies in the space that it's clear is real. They have high revenues, they're very visible in the industry, and they seem to be addressing a very important series of challenges for growers. And they already have their HVAC solution, and they seem to be very busy with that. And they now have a reflector, reflector technology that's cooled with water, so breakthrough technology. And they're also working on a hybrid system, a hybrid greenhouse grow system. You can learn more about SRNA by visiting the website. That's not really the point of the call. What I'd like to do is just make sure everybody's up to speed with why has it been such a bad stock and why is it rallying now and what might lie ahead. So this company was founded by Tom Bollock, and Tom left the company suddenly earlier this year. And they announced at the time that a recently hired addition to their team, Brian Jorgensen, would be CEO. And so there was a lot of confusion at the time. The way it played out, Jorgensen never did become CEO. Instead, their general counsel, Tay Darnell, was named temporary CEO. So companies without management, and truly the company never really did a good job of explaining why Bollock left. That's issue number one. Issue number two is that this is a reverse merger. In case you're not aware, reverse mergers are fraught with risk, and this one definitely ran into that risk, which is that some of the prior shareholders had a large position and were selling it, and they were running highly promotional email ads earlier this year, really discouraging. The company had nothing at all to do with that. These guys have been selling, and it's not clear if they're done or not done, but one would presume that perhaps they are done. That's been issue number 2. Issue number 3, back to Tom Bollock, I probably should have made that issue 2, is that he has a lot of stock, and it's unknown at this time what is going to happen with all that stock that he has. So there are concerns that he could pressure the stock. Now, he hasn't done so. There's been no disclosure, but that is issue 3. And then issue 4 is one about capital. This company did 2 capital raises, and they did not do a very good job. It's not clear whether or not they'll need to raise more capital. I would speculate yes. While they're growing substantially, in fact, they're expanding their manufacturing space, they are consuming a lot of cash and they're not yet profitable. So great top line growth, but underneath that top line revenue, there are some challenges. They probably need to raise some capital. That would be my guess. So these are some of the overhangs hanging over the stock. So as I look at this, this is one of my focus list stocks. I have 26 names on my focus list, and like I said, I included in my 420 opportunity model portfolio. So I talk about this all the time with my subscribers. I have a game plan for this week. They'll be reporting their 10Q, assuming they're on time. That's due this week. They have the option to extend a few days, so this could be next week. We'll see. But even in advance of that 10Q, some of these questions might start to get addressed this week. So stay tuned for that. While I'm not going to share my exact game plan, I did just disclose that I reduced on Thursday at 14.1. So I'm kind of set up for a decline. I have a prediction that I've shared with my subscribers, but just in general, I will tell you how I look at the chart right now. First of all, I use the 150-day moving average, and we ran into resistance up there. That was also, this 15-cent area was also closing low, and an area that was an all-time low back in March before it broke down. So not surprising to see a little bit of resistance there. Really good news could get through there and maybe change the overall chart perspective. If we switch to the weekly, you can see last week was an all-time high volume. So it really was a nice week, but we've had a big move from below 5 cents to almost 15 cents. So yeah, you can see here the stock closed, the closing high ever on a weekly basis was right at about $8, if you can believe. I think I first added this name around 50 or 60 cents. So I was definitely pretty early, and it's been very painful for investors to watch. What I've been telling my subscribers is that of all the companies in the space, this is one of the most promising and that people would like to own, but it's been such a painful chart, and these unresolved issues have really caused people to lack confidence. So the current share count is about 150 million. So the market cap at the low was ridiculously low. I have a feeling the share count will go up over time as they raise a little bit more capital. But we'll have to see what happens there. So back to the daily chart, just for kind of some of the ways I look at these stocks. One of the things I would look for would be a 50% retracement. 50% of, let's just call it 5 cents to 15 cents, would be about 10 cents. We do see a lot of these stocks retrace more than that, and so a Fibonacci retracement at 62% would obviously get you closer to 8 cents. So that's kind of a zone, and you can see a lot of support in that 7.5 to 9 area as well. I also like to look at the 50-day moving average. Most of the stocks in the sector are trading below their 50-day moving average. SRNA is one of the few that's the chart has begun to change, as it looks like maybe with all this volume, finally people can be confident that there's a bottom. So I hope this is helpful. If you like this type of dialogue, I share it every single day at 420 Investor. Thanks for paying attention, and have a great week.